Hello, I'm Josh Lidgard. Thank you for your purchase and welcome to OneDayApp. It's going to be a lot of fun and you're going to learn a ton. By the end of this series, we'll have a complete application designed to store notes and images by location ready for sale in multiple application stores. You're going to use the existing skills you have as a web developer to do this thanks to a platform called Phonegap. Phonegap is an HTML app platform that lets you write native apps for devices. It does this by creating project templates for these devices that wrap the browser control on the device. The wrapper then exposes native functionality to the browser that lets you access a wide range of the most popular native functionality on devices ranging from Palms and Androids to iPhones. Specifically, for this application, we'll be taking advantage of the geolocation services to find out where you are, the camera services to take pictures of locations that go along with the notes that'll be stored locally on the devices in persistent storage. This is Chapter 1. In this chapter, you're going to get a tour of Xcode and how the Phonegap projects are laid out. Although I'm going to be using the Mac-based Xcode environment and the iPhone simulator, it's important to note that all the code I'll be demonstrating works across all platforms. So if you want to follow along in Windows with Eclipse, building this application for an Android, you can. Throughout this series, each chapter will be iterating through development. Chapter 1 is going to focus on the basics of Phonegap while creating a working prototype that proves everything we need to do for this application is possible. Along the way, we'll learn some tips and tricks that will be useful for your own development to improve performance and optimize your. Now we'll write output notes to handle the results. This function takes the transaction and a SQL result set as arguments that are automatically passed to it from the execute SQL command. The SQL result set passed into this function contains three properties. First is the insert ID. This is the row ID of the insert if one was performed. Row affected. This is the number of rows that were changed as part of the execute SQL command. Rows. This is the actual row data in the form of a SQL result set row list that was returned. First we'll grab the number of rows that were returned. Then we'll grab the paragraph that we want to modify and set it to blank. Now we'll loop through the results. The SQL result set list contains two properties. The first is the length that we've already used, the number of rows that were returned. The second is the item data. This is the row specified at the index that's called. When you access the item, the cell data can be accessed by the column name that was defined. If we run this in Safari again, we get the sample data results that we'd expect. You can see we stored the data, the current location, and you have the ability to pick out a pic on an image. In the next chapters, we'll take all this capability and refactor this code into a location-based note-taking machine.